and we shared in the golden moments of growing up together. We played together, we learned to ride bikes and paddle canoes together. We walked and rode the same buses together to school, and later on rode the same city buses to and from work when he was coming from St. Paul and McAllister Road to Marquette Bank, and I was going to work in St. Paul downtown. We even sat on our beds together as punishment when we got out of hand. And I think reading during that quiet time while sitting on his bed probably contributed to Mike's development of a love for literature. Maybe not, but most of us know the history. A prolific writer and wonderful human with wonderful human sensibilities, Mike was a literary artist. He saw art as a form of meditation, and as such, a learning experience. He was a doctor of philosophy who taught courses in media arts, English composition, literature, and film. He wrote poetic prose, flash fiction, scripted, and blogged. Reading from his writings, one reflects and learns. We learned that Mike was a witty and thoughtful observer of the world around him, and that he was a sensitive soul, searching for meaning and love in the humanity of this life. I have often thought about what it would be like to have Mike as a teacher. Would it be weird to have a close friend as a teacher? Maybe not. It's that relationship that Mike brought to whatever he did. He was approachable and put a high value on friendship. He wanted to know more about the people he encountered in the walk of life. He was genuine and loyal. Mike would call him a friend in good times and bad, even if it was not fashionable or politically correct. Over 35 years of teaching, Mike made a positive difference in many lives. In our 62 years together, he taught me how important it is to be a friend and to make time for friendship. In celebrating Mike's life today, we'd like to read from some of his literary works. As I said before, Mike referred to himself as a surrealist in both his works of poetry and fiction, although he said his poems tended to be more autobiographical and spiritual, and his fiction more ironic and avant-garde, which he thought was a nice balance. I'm going to kind of kick it off, and we've got a couple people that will read from some of the works that are in this booklet, so you can follow along. At the burial in Georgia, we read Georgia Pines, which is a short poem about kind of the oldness of the pines and the fleetness of life passing through it. Names like Shortleaf and Loblolly Miss, these crocodile ladders, suburban outliers, ancients in our midst. Heads above the rest, trunks like torches, needles flensing sun. Good cactus people standing their ground. Wind brittle, jettisoning intermittent limbs. Desert layers festooning communities with coniferous strew. Woodpecker board, lightning struck. Bent like drinking straws, wearing many scars. Jolly old tars they are, yet redolent with youth, lasting for ages, while we are just passing through. Just a short one. We've got the next one is Escape Plan. And I'm going to escape from the mic here, but do that one.
Thanks, Mike, for all the hard words, by the way. Develop your own escape plan. When others ask to friend you on Facebook, tell them no. Better yet, start a feud. Real Hatfields and McCoys kind of stuff. Then delete your profile. Pursue all the interests you lied about on that page. No ringtones. Set your phone on vibrate and wean yourself off it. Better yet, become absent-minded and forget where you put it. Explore different places. Rediscover nature and just try to appreciate it without the benefit of technology. Do not consider giving someone a running total of your day an urgent need. If emergencies happen, Accept them as a backdrop to your life, because life is sad. When you take pictures, don't review and edit them immediately. Talking to you, Mark. Your life is not a movie, and you are not being paid a per diem to watch the dailies. Do not wear company brands on your clothing unless you are being paid a residual. Put down your Guitar Hero and learn to play for real. And no more violent video games. They may not turn you violent, but they will not bring you peace. Read a book. Meet someone and ask her to leave virtual reality with you. Plan and pull off a daring escape from the Matrix. Have a family and let the realities of changing diapers and paying down a mortgage sink in. Do not take on a bigger payment than you can afford. Do not live in a McMansion unless you harbor a family of fugitives fleeing an oppressive regime who need a place to stay. Only then would you need the extra room. Learn to navigate thrift stores. Fill your house with modest things. If you live in a gated community, make sure you can get out. I love that. Make sure others are not being unfairly kept out. Reconsider instant messaging. Put space in between contacts to allow yourself more time to live and report back. Become legendarily hard to reach, a hermit, a yeti. Then others won't pick up the same stream of chatter whenever they do reach you. If you inhabit a cubicle at work or have a job in which you create nothing, take up poetry or painting. Cut your finger and drip over a canvas before letting that spirit in yourself die.
Wait a second, let me post that and then I'm gonna text you again.
Yeah. Now Todd Eddy is going to read A Flower.
Okay.
He's going to yell.
Come on, old yeller.
Reading from Mike according to Todd.
A Flower by M.V. Montgomery.
Who?
What's his real name?
We'll tell you. We were not present at that marriage of functionality to essence, nor witness to the original sequence which might have induced Archefructus to curl its leaves upward to form the first fragrant cupola. Petals emerged, delicate as flypaper, to dust primitive legs and wings. And much later, color, kaleidoscopic to the compound eye. Nectar, sweet but sticky landing strip. Blooms, top-heavy, swaying, hypnotic. It was not for us that the flower came into being. Not for us to perceive one as beautiful. Not for 100 million years.
That's the way poetry should be read. Thanks, Todd. Madison, you want to hold that? Okay, you get it okay? You can put it down.
That man who ministered to the sick and poor, who threw out the money changers, who said we were all sons of God, I still perceive him beneath all the layers of text and translation, miracles and myth that erased his family, his humanity, and substituted the polemics of prophecy fulfilled. I still perceive him after centuries of anti-Semitism, popes run amok, and countless cults of the apocalypse. I see him, hear his simple words, love your enemy, bless those who curse you, and I feel the power of that injunction and realize such forgiveness is truly divine.
capturing youth, the shining memories of youth, and as you grow older. It was something Molly kind of noted that it might be nice to read, and I kind of latched onto it because, well, he's got me in the first line. This I have done. It's called Diamond Sutra. This I have done. I had biked toward Diamond Lake in the late autumn with my older brother Tim, whose 10 speed has raced around the corner ahead. With some effort, I have continued on alone, on an old bicycle, a child's. I have followed the slope of Clinton Avenue, past the superette, noticed candies and gumball machines, like dim mementos behind the glass, discovered a cluster of new commercial buildings of shining glass and polished stone. I have recognized shops, a restaurant, a drugstore, so new it seemed to represent a yet-to-transpire corporate merger. Toward the lake, a larger building named the Spire, shaped like a translucent Hershey's kiss. I had walked my bike down a short dirt embankment to a path and ridden around the lip of the shoreline. I have noticed the lake surface appear to expand, gelid and rippleless. Still on my bike, I have begun to labor heavily, not from the strain of no gears, nor from the exertion itself, but out of pure and simple grief. I have thought, I have not been back here for too long. I have not been back here for too long, too many years, and I have sobbed, staring out over the handlebars of the shining water. And I reflected, had I made this trek sooner, would I have felt more complete? Would I have become more truly compassionate? No matter that these waters, for all their beauty, are utterly unfamiliar to me. I have fixed upon them as my source. Perhaps not the sentimental cause, but the balm for all my suffering. My sobs do not allow me to dwell on these thoughts for long. When I awake, I'm at peace.
Yeah, please.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
So at the very back of your book is some of Mike's finest comedy work. That's where he and I bonded the most. I loved his sense of humor. I even laughed at most of his dad jokes. He was the king of dad jokes. And several years ago, we had this big scheme. He was gonna write the jokes, and I was gonna do stand-up and tell them all. And we were gonna be millionaires. Obviously, you see where we are. That's the standard of our jokes. Anyway, we pulled together a few of them that he had written, and I think they're kind of good. The first one, I'm afraid of driving with some of my coworkers. You never know what Machiavellian moves one of them might pull on you when the car goes under a dark bridge. A doctor told me I might have carpal tunnel syndrome. Feel free to groan. I don't know if it is politically correct to call planet Earth a crazy place, but it certainly is bipolar. I love the groans. You win some, you lose some. I just try to be as winsome as I can. Students, I hope that in this class you shall all feel mentally challenged. But this one is my all-time favorite. I've always believed in standing to salute the Zamboni driver as he makes his way across the ice. And I think it would be a nice gesture if they flashed the message on the scoreboard. Thank you for your service.
I think next we just got a little music video, harkening back to the days of MTV, but a little something showing some of Mike's scenes from his times with friends and family. Let me see if I can get it going here.
Oh, 4th of July.
Screen door, some lambs, Mary's dressed away. So like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Chorus and sing further on. Hey, that's me and I want you to hold me. Don't turn me on again, I just can't face myself again. Don't run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't that young anymore.
Thanks, dear Lord.
You ain't a beauty, but they're alright. And that's alright.
up to anybody who has a little story or something that they'd like to share, connect with mine. I got a couple things I might want to go over. But first, I think we've got a mom's letter. We wanted to read. Madison, you want to read it? Yeah, on the phone. Okay.
Sorry.
This is something Mom wrote, and the original is buried in the Georgia Pines. I can hold the microphone for you.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Michael, I miss you, Mike, the writer, humorist, comedian, and sweet son forever. Thank you for your Friday calls to see if I made the Friday night popcorn party yet. When you and Tim were on your own, you'd bring the guys over for the party before you go out for the night. I had to start making the 2 huge bowls of popcorn then. As nice as you boys were, you were, so were your friends. I never had to worry about you doing anything bad while with your friends. All our children were very spiritual, so I never had to worry about you. You were out with your friends. Because of your goodness, I never had to worry about you at all. I hope you are settled in with God and all the beauty of heaven. Remember all of us and all our love for you. Hopefully, we'll all meet again in heaven when our lives are over and we're enjoying heavenly rewards together. Thank you for all the years we had together and the joys for our love for each other. I love you, dear Mike. Mom.
Thank you, Madison. Did Ray want to read something too?
Yeah.
You man.
This is something that was written by my mom. She's Mike's brother, so it's really good for her. My brother, Dr. Mickey Snackcase, wrote a poem for my husband Gary and I for our wedding day. In true Dr. Mickey Snackcase fashion, the wishes were deeper than the brain of the church. It took me a long time to figure out what his words meant. I understand the poem now because I had to look up the meaning of many things he said. Every time I reread it, it means a little more to me. Mike made us use our brains. He made us think. He made us better people. I'm thankful to him for forcing me to research out of pure curiosity. I'm thankful to him for always making me laugh. When we were at his house after he died, we found many letters we had all written. He saved them all. In our large family, he looked at each of us individually and cherished each one of us. So much so, he saved all our letters. I had fun going through and reading the letters I had written. I admired him so much. I wanted to mimic his wit and humor in those letters. Grief is a funny thing. It comes and goes. I've been finding joy and laughter rereading the many emails Mike randomly sent me. Always positive and always fun. I'm going to choose to thank him for always being there for me in times of grief. He left me with a written word that heals, that is intelligent, that challenges me, and that makes me laugh. He also left me with an amazing niece. One thing we all learned growing up in a big family, we are better together. Together we will love and remember Dr. Mickey Snackcase.
Anybody else have a thought? I can actually walk around too and give the mic to anybody who'd like to contribute anything. I got a couple things I'll talk about later.
My husband's rage.
Rage.
Rage. Your children here.
I'm great.
This is a good gonna work, I'm gonna need a beach towel. I knew Mike for 60 years. I loved his wit, I loved his charm, I loved his kindness, I loved his smarts. I loved him. We spoke often, we texted, we talked on the phone, we read each other's emails, laughed constantly. He was such an influence in my life. I'll miss him forever. Now, the family is so great. The Fridays going over, meeting everyone, seeing everyone. The Montgomery girls swooning over me. That was the tough part.
Yes, it was the chocolate, not you.
It's a curse I live with, yes. Yeah, it was great to go bowling, play cards until the wee hours in the morning, and I will miss that forever. Take care, Mucho.
John, you better talk about this.
Thank you.
Good job, yeah. Way to make us all proud.
Maybe I can get it, Veronica alluded to it. We had an episode where, we don't have the recording of it, but Mike was on that night, the afternoon news. And this was around the time when he was getting ready to go to Arizona, and living with John, and I think he just recently purchased a vehicle and was getting some things ready to go on his trip. Deciding out in Arizona for his master's.
And how much did he get the vehicle for?
$80.
How much was it?
$80.
$25.
$80.
Do I hear right? Okay. So he has, I don't even know what kind of, it's Ford Granada, right?
Yep.
It was a Granada, I had one of them too, those, good on gas miles, I think 12 miles a gallon, so. So Mike was driving over, I think he might have been going to get some things that he needed for the trip or something, I don't know, but he was somewhere in Minneapolis or St. Paul, and I happened to be living with Grandma Gregorio, mom's mom at the time, and home for lunch or work or whatever, and she was always watching the news, so we were tuned in Channel 5, I think that's coming, it's coming. Channel 5, and I heard a familiar voice, and I looked around and I stared at some guy screaming, and there was like some accident on the highway or something. And, he was talking, I said, Grandma, that's Mike. And then I just was riveted to the TV, and it was a car fire, you know, the guy pulled over to the side of the road and called the police and the fire department, and his car was on fire. And the reporter asked him, well, what happened? Here's the guy who had his car burned on the highway. Can you tell sir what happened? And he said, well, old Beth started coughing, and there was the fire. Pretty matter of fact about it, we have it on video somewhere. But needless to say, he didn't take that car down to Arizona. But he did get to Arizona, and he did do a lot of good and get his doctor of philosophy through. So.
You can't buy a car at Goodwill.
At least that one was on a good buy. Anybody else got something interesting? I know Mike and I worked in a pickle factory before, and we did it for just one day. One summer, we signed up together to Kelly Services, I think was the temp service that we worked through. We had a couple of different assignments. One was to get a pickle factory down in Chaska. Went there for one day. We had to have special earplugs. We didn't know we had to wear special clothes. But we got our special earplugs in, and as soon as we got into the area where it, told us about and we were doing training for, it was a stainless steel sink, and it was a loud shearing sound. So I understood what the earplugs were for. And pickles were being cut, and then we were to stack. We were given a whole tray of jars on the stainless steel sink, and we were instructed to put 6 around the outside and 2 in the middle. Then we put them back on the cart and go somewhere else. And we worked the whole day straight in the factory, and came out for a break. There was one guy that Mike was interested in who was really interested in making the cut and making this his full-time job. Mike was kind of curious about him and what his life must be like and why he wanted to work in the we got to that pickle. But by the time we got to the end of the day, we went home together, and we smelled like pickles, and you couldn't get that brine smell off your clothes. So we decided we weren't going back, and we tried to fund that one day.
Was it like Lucy and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah. kind of, yeah. We were eating the pickles. But we were in kind of a pickle with those loud noises, and pickle brine all over. So I thought maybe you'd like us to hear that.
I never knew that one.
Is anybody else got a thought for one? Because I've got one more, but I'm saving it. Should I go for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, how did I start that? Well, this concerns John Brower and John Gray tonight. And Mike and John Brower graduated the same year from high school in 1979. And we all just got together after the graduation commencement. Instead of going to the, Mike went to United East and Brower went to United West, so we were close in proximity. Instead of going to the after commencement party that they have all night, Mike and Brown and John Gage and I packed up, and we went up to Interstate Park along the St. Croix River at Taylor's Falls and St. Croix Falls, and we brought a tent, we brought some camping gear. We decided we would camp out for celebrating the beginning of a new world and a new life for Mike and Brown. And we had a campfire, and we were in the tent. We got a little hungry, so we decided to go to St. Croix Falls to get some food. And I think there was a Kentucky Fried Chicken there, John, was it?
It was.
It was McDonald's, it was KFC.
I got ripped off.
I'll get to that, But we went in, and I think it was just us four there. But we got something to eat. Mike and I were a little short on cash. So John covered for us, and he said he was going to do that. And there was some discussion about that, though. But when we got back, it was a great night and everything. But John let us remember about that in many different ways. That
Never forget it.
it got fried at the KFC. I had a number for Mike and I. And I wanted to, on behalf of Mike, kind of conclude our debt to John with I heard that Mike had previously tried to give that to you. He did. And then it came back and forth a couple times.
Never bring it up again.
I think you mentioned that to John Brower in an email of some kind. And I just want to be sure, John, that you got that and know that Mike appreciated that great meal. And, if you can use that to buy some wax donuts next time we play cards, that would be cool. Pat, oh, good.
Yeah, sure, my Facebook doesn't pick up. I might have to use someone's phone.
Pat's got a little something he wanted to say about Big Brother Mike.
Hard reset. I'll get it. Yeah, I wrote it down on the first. I was thinking about Mike. Ashes and burial.
Here, Pat.
We got time.
Yeah.
It's good. I read it.
It's from the heart that came. I was just thinking about Mike work.
It's November 3rd.
Oh, airplane mode, of course.
Yeah, put it on operating mode. Operating mode, not everything.
We had troubleshooting skills.
Are we on Saturday Night Live? Are we being booked? I tried to, but the latest post I can find here.
What were the songs that you chose for the slideshow?
Well,
Chicago?
well, Chicago was more my choice just because it was about old days. But Mike used to listen on and on to Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan.
Okay.
And so I tried to get him to Bruce Springsteen song was Thunder Road, which is one of his early songs. And that's like and yeah, the Dylan song was not his favorite album either, but it was it's not for you, which I thought was it's not for my guy.
Anybody friends with Pat on Facebook?
I was looking at the 8-pound crank.
Thank you, Rita.
Thanks, Dana. See you there.
I'll zoom in a little bit.
Pat, can you read her? Readers?
Wow.
Wow. Can you wear these? Yeah, these are nice. Wait, let me get a photo of that.
Meatballs, right? Spaz?
Picking up my brother Mike today, though he punished me relentlessly when we watched AWA wrestling every Saturday growing up. He was nice enough to read to me, let me play with his toys, lend me vinyl like Tom Waits and Al Stewart, and
I heard Bruce Springsteen there. I was in his room, I would hear that.
and bring me into his card-playing friend group as an equal. Was able to visit in Georgia a handful of times. I was at the Canon show, and kept in touch via emails till the end. Him sending YouTube music links, and I sending my latest weekly posts at the blog, and or my dad's vinyl I had ripped. He enjoyed that, and the bagpipes, and talked about it a lot. I wrote him a biodegradable last note to go with his ashes up on Davidson Arabian Mountain, or Honey Creek in Georgia, where he was a park ranger. I love you, Mike. And
I thought I had more than that.
Great job.
Thank you, Pat.
Don't steal Lori's glasses. That was good. I like the
But that was good. I wasn't having any other upbringing, I think.
That was good.
A hard upbringing.
Very good.
Well, I think if anybody at any point wants to say anything, we have this mic, they can go around the room and to any table at any place. And that's what we have for today. And we thank everybody again for coming. And please eat and share stories. This was just a brief little. One more.
Is it on?
Yeah. Is this thing on?
If you can't understand me, raise your hand. I hate to listen to speakers when I can't understand them.
You need to understand audio.
That was
or
the
just,
guilt part portion. That's the Catholic guilt portion.
Okay, so I just wanted to thank everybody who's been such good friends for our family. We've had a wonderful life. Our kids have been wonderful. And you kids have been wonderful. All of our neighbors, we probably learned some bad stuff from you, but I hope you learned some good stuff from us too. for being as great and as wonderful as you all are. We love you all.
Look at her with her feet. We call it the Fred Flintstone chair.
So, if anyone thinks of anything, wants to use the mic, let me know.
Wait, I'm not saying.
Are you raising your hand?
I'll say something.
Good.
This was an awesome memorial for Mike. I didn't know Mike, of course, only through my husband, but my husband really thought a lot of him. And my husband took it pretty hard, and I know the rest he did too, but just the short time I got to know him, he's quite a boot. I always love him, so thank you, everybody.
I grew up with Mike and John Brower right there in South Minneapolis before your family is maybe telling you guys things that everybody already knows, but I'm not sure. Maybe some of you don't know this. I didn't know Mike really well before we all moved to Edina, but came to know him better when we reconnected later on in high school. And then got much closer. It was in his wedding, he stood on his wedding, which was a privilege. It was a beautiful occasion. It's in the video, terrific video too, by the way. Was it a great video? Trying to hold it together, I apologize. The thing about Mike is, I reflect on just the breadth and depth of his scholarship. He was really a remarkable man. He really was. I mean, he got his doctorate in film studies, I believe. And Tim, the kind of summary of his life, he did a terrific job. He taught in a variety of subjects. And his cosmological sonnets, one of his last books, is dedicated to his students, for all my students, both past and present. And I have to reflect on how fortunate they were. Tim alluded to this earlier too. I think about the dozens, hundreds of students he must have had at Life University and elsewhere. And at Life, that was founded as a school of chiropractic, if I'm not mistaken. And the people who went there were not, I don't think, necessarily expecting to get exposure to, the classics and to, nuanced style training and film studies and literature. Yet that's what they got. This man, he touched them so unexpectedly. I knew it was beautiful and wise. Now the people thought Mike was not, as he was not ostentatious in his learning. I mean, it flew off of things, sparks from Catherine Wheel, but it was always perfectly appropriate and gracious, graceful. And, but I do admit, he was versed in multiple religions and faith traditions of the world. I remember once in Georgia, we were having a conversation about something that I remarked to him about, the counterproductiveness of, holding on to anger. And he nodded his way and said, yes, the sage does not contend. And I felt that phrase with me since this was probably 52 years ago. The sage does not contend. And immediately I knew it meant. And I somehow sensed that it was, an utterance of some other, it wasn't original in him. It turns out it's a core principle of Taoism, which I didn't know. And I think it's true. That is my memory of Mike. I don't know that I ever saw him angry. I don't know that I ever saw him really desperately sad. loved being a parent. He loved his daughter so much. I apologize.
Go to the funny people.
Thanks, everyone. John Broward.
All right, yeah, it's hard to fit 60 years into a few words. But Mike was like the other guys, just always this constant in my life. And it's tragic that he's gone so soon. But his life wasn't tragic. He really lived like he had an amazing ability to observe. He could look right through people and he could watch situations. And then he would tell us about it in such unique ways, in such clever ways, and funny ways often. And I just carry nothing but good memories and just thinking of the great times of getting to know Mike. And I was admired him, when it came to boot hockey and softball and playing cards. He was one of my best students. The other guys, kind of disappointing. But Mike learned well from me, and he did really well. He had a bat, a baseball bat, that he called Smote.
The general.
The general. The general, yeah. And
He would smoke the balls with general.
And it was just great times. It was great having him a part of growing up. But the 60s and 70s were a weird time, and it was great to have Mike there with us. And just know that you guys have good and fun when we live, and as we all do. And I go greatly miss him.
So with that,
You need to walk around with that microphone.
what's that?
Make people. No, because you don't have to stand up. You
No,
can
no,
surprise
I
people.
can walk around, and the thing
Stick
is,
that
if
thing in their face.
people want to sit back at the tables and enjoy talking with each other and have something to eat, I can bring this microphone over any time.
Oh, okay.
No more words for it.
Thanks,
See, here we go.
everybody.
Here,
But-
we got
Layla, go.
Oh, see?
No.
No? Dolly? This is Aunt Dolly.
When I met Mike, he was only 9 years old. And the first thing we did, we measured each other.
Because everybody at their house wanted to measure with me to see who's taller than me. And the other thing I remember about Mike, they had a pool and I couldn't swim. And Mike was in the pool and he said, "Come on, Lily, get in. And I said, "Well, I cannot swim." He said, "I'm here to save you." Come on. And he challenged me every time. And of course, I could still touch the ground. But he says, "Come on, we could go to the other side." And I said, "No, Mike, I cannot swim." He said, "Okay, bring her a swim jacket, a life jacket." And Mike was a challenger. Every time I went to their house, the first thing he wanted to do was measure to see if he had grown taller than me.
Brought some extra height too. Thank you, Lily.
If you read this, I can share it, if you read it.
Okay, another reading one.
Well, it's an email from Mike making me feel not stupid for being an awkward introvert.
You want to read it or?
No. Okay, right here. Oh, yeah.
Where's Lori? Yeah.
Where are you going?
Well, give her, I think you want last.
Readers
Yeah.
I can see,
I'm
yeah.
gonna start right there
And how far do I read it?
and all the way there.
Okay. So this is an email from Mike to Molly, our sister. As for oversharing in quotes, it is the introvert's curse and really should merit an entry in the dictionary of obscure sorrows. Oversharing, the feeling that you might have contributed more than your share to a conversation or hijacked a casual exchange by bombarding a perfect stranger with your life story. It happens to me all the time, capital, because I'm such a yeti. On Monday, a couple of neighbors I've never spoken to were out looking for a lost cat in my backyard. It was so dark that even with flashlights, you couldn't see anything. Oh, what that was been for a black cat. Sorry, I lost track here. It was so dark you couldn't see anything. For some reason, I grabbed a flashlight and joined them. And in 1 minute, they divulged there was a path in my backyard that led to another development. And from there, you could walk to a lake. Also, I maintain another nature trail not too far away. And don't you know, it's 1.5 miles plus a lot of trail spurs. And here's how you can get there. I recommend taking campground to Highway 155 because that puts you closer to the parking lot. When you pull in, or you can park by the tennis court in Lake Haven and walk in from one of the spur trails there. And the main trailhead is a bit difficult to find out. I go there a lot. I can show you. Oh, by the way, my name is Mike. Nice to finally meet you after 3 or 4 years. Hope it's not too creepy that I'm just a disembodied voice talking to you. Sounds like one of his trail reports from Radio Mountain. They were able to us there. He was very oh, okay. Right ahead of the day. Okay.
So,
And
Molly,
those
did it
ones-
make you less self-conscious now?
Yeah, because I had just written an email and overshared to Jack Candy from Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
And I showed Mike and I was like, I think I said too much. He was like, and then Mike was like, don't worry, I do it all the time.
Montgomery
Well,
is,
But he's like,
any of you haven't noticed it.
people stop listening. Oversharing.
Or you wanted to, have somebody play a song?
Read a Tom Waits song, you knew all the lyrics?
Oh, yeah.
Which song?
Senses.
Let's play the song and then.
I mean, not more than 5
Okay.
minutes ago, you
So-
recited the whole song
To
today.
conclude this segment, Chuck was gonna play a song, I think, from his,
Here, just hold the microphone up.
okay. This is a Beatles song, we all like Beatles in our group of friends, but this is one that has some.
Yeah, he was
for our
Stone
family.
side.
That's-
He gave
it's
us
not
about
with our
5,000.
family.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow. Let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me. Singing words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be.
Just for a little context, before we go and start eating. For a little context, that song "Let It Be" by the Beatles was a favorite of our uncle, my mom's younger brother, John B. LaGuardia Jr. And when he passed away, it was kind of a comforting song for our family and became kind of a favorite for times of trouble. Anyway, thanks everybody again for coming. And thanks for those who shared.